So my people, Sheikh Gumi is not backing down. He's going from one TV station to another just to explain why they are saying that Donald Trump should not come and invade Nigeria or kill the terrorists. Like this man, if Nigeria is a safe country, he's supposed to be behind the bars, but we know the country we have. Anyway, Northerner also told him the bitter truth to his face. In this video, they really had heated argument because we cannot allow this man, to keep putting this narrative out there, just to deceive the Northerners that the US, they are coming to buy them, they are coming to take the resources, this and that. I really love the reply this particular man here gave to him. But before I allow you guys to watch the video, there is one particular video I would love you guys to watch first of all from Prophet Isa El-Buba, where he exposed Sultan of Sokoto as well as this Sheikh Gumi. And also today there is breaking news that the senators are now supporting Donald Trump to come and take or wipe out these terrorists that are disturbing Nigeria, because they cannot see it that this Tinubu government cannot deal with this insecurity in Nigeria without the help of US or any other country. My people, this video is a must watch. Take a listen, do wait to subscribe, like the video, share it, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for doing so.
With all that is going on, we thank God for the prayers that is going on. We also give God the glory for the responses of Nigerians, both at home and in the diaspora. Thank you for also signing the petitions. Thank you for also making sure that our government does what is right. And don't forget that on the 29th of this month, November, we're going to all come out to pray for our country, and especially with the situation that we have been confronted with. Now, we have to tell ourselves the truth. I keep saying this, and I will not slow down in telling us the truth. You see, the North is a major problem of itself, especially with a segment of people, certain elites. I tell you that certain Northern elites are behind what is ongoing. Now, there's a twist to the narration going on that Donald Trump is coming to wage war against Muslims and that they are coming to steal away our resources. In the first instance, can I ask you, all these years you've been living in Nigeria, how much have you enjoyed the resources of this country? That's the question you ask yourself. They are the ones fueling, they are the ones empowering the bandits. You will see the video that you will watch. You will see the bandits moving around with AK-47, with sophisticated weapon, sponsored by politicians in this country. All right? In one of the videos, you will even hear one of the Fulani men, when they were called for them to surrender and all of that. And he was saying that government was the one that provided these things for them. He said, where can an ordinary Fulani man who is used to stick going with his cow have money to go and buy AK-47? These things are deliberate. These things are intentional. And it is not about Donald Trump, threatening that he's coming to war against Muslims. He cannot. He's saying, I am coming after the terrorists. So if now you say that the Muslims are being killed, why don't you open up your arm and say, come and partner with our government and deal with these terrorists? You will see the video that took place just last year or so, if I remember, of the American missionary that was taken by these terrorists, and they demanded 1 million. If not, they will kill him. America sent in their men from America, and they rescued this missionary unhurt. That is just one citizen. How can we be losing tens of thousands and we're politicking, talking all kinds of foolishness and nonsense over the lives of people, blaming, it is not only Christian, it is Muslims also. So are we competing on the number of dates? The reality is that Christians were the first. Christians were being massacred based on their faith. There is a video you're going to see. And I challenge the chief of defense staff who came out to say there is no persecution of Christians in Nigeria. You are a liar. You're a liar. Just look at this video. This is something that happened day before yesterday of a church that was demolished in Maiduguri. Just yesterday. We experienced one some few months ago. And I am asking the Borno State government to act on this matter. We will not take it lightly. We are all citizens in this country. You are living in a land where you as a Christian, you are not at liberty with certain, let me use the word extremists Islamic worshippers. The killers that are killing the Muslims now, who are they? Are they Jews? Are they Americans? Are they not Muslims? Are they not terrorist Muslims? So why don't the Islamic Council come after them and say, look, it's time we go after people that are destroying our image and destroying our faith? You will never see any Christian attacking any community, not anywhere. Listen to this. I'm going to read it. Gumi tells Tinubu to cut ties with the US if Trump fails to withdraw military threat. Look at this Gumi. Listen to what this Gumi said some time ago on the Guardian News. He said, allow bandits to guard our forests for peace to reign. Sheikh Gumi says, allow bandits to guard our forests. So you tell me you don't know the people that are brain behind those bandits, those Fulani killer headsmen? Let me read another one by Pantami, the former minister. Listen to what he said on People's Gazette. He said, Boko Haram terrorists are our Muslim brothers. Shouldn't be killed like pigs, Minister Pantami said. Boko Haram terrorists are our Muslim brothers. Do you hear? Let me read what the Sultan said. The Sultan is the one that is the head of Makban. The Sultan is the head of Mayati Allah. So the Sultan can stop this genocide, this killing, just what happened day before yesterday in Kano. They can stop it. Listen to what Sultan said. You fight Almighty Allah when you fight Boko Haram, Sultan of Sokoto. You fight Almighty Allah when you fight Boko Haram. Now, these are the people. And now they are spreading the news around the north that, oh, it is war against Muslims. It is no war against Muslims. The people that are being massacred or killed as Muslims in the far north are people who resist these evil terrorists, evil men. So I will advise President Tinubu, align with President Donald Trump. Let them support you. Let us deal with this matter once and for all. The bloodletting is too much. All right? It's too much. No one Nigerian needs to die. Look at Chad. Chad has blocked our borders. Chad has blocked our borders not to allow these terrorists to enter. We here in Nigeria, we are negotiating with terrorists. We are negotiating. Look at the soldier that we lost now, just day before yesterday, that were escorting a member of the House of Representatives. Look at the one that happened in Niger. Look at the one that happened in Katsina. Why are we just let me use the word, going around and denying the facts? This genocide is real. I have all the documents. I can show you the site. The persecution of Christians in certain locations in the north is real. Let's not deny it. It's real. There are certain universities in the north. A Christian will not be given, the admission to study medicine. You can't build church. This is a land that belongs to all of us. You build church, they come and demolish it. You say there is no persecution. Let's not be lying to ourselves. Mudena kariyama kamu. Arewa mune dabon kamu. Sai ranar da muka yadda cewa zamu amshe gaskiya. Gaskiya ita ce gaskiya, kuma gaskiya guda ɗaya ce. Kashe nan da yake tafiya. Yawancin senators namu, members of the house, governor mu a nan arewa sun sani. Kun sa abin da kuke yi. Sultan ya sa abin da yake faruwa. Ya san cewa yana da iko ya siyar da wani abin da ke tafiya. Sai mu zo na muna rudin kanmu cewa America za su zo yake musulmai. Ina ne ko gani America ta yake musulmai? America tana da base ɗinta a Saudi Arabia. America tana da base ɗinta a United Arab a Qatar. America tana da bases ɗinta a kasan musulmai. Ina ko gani? Abin da shi tona turbe ce, wayannan ƴan ta'adda za mu zo in ba gwamnatin Najeriya ba za ta yi komai ba, za mu zo mu kashe wayannan mutane. Me muke nema? Muna nema a cikin ba ana kashe mana mutane. Wani rana ne za mu yi hankali a nan arewa. Duwa talauci da yake nan, duwa wahalar jama'a, duwa abin da mutane suke fuskanta. Sai a dan ana bar malamai suna siye akan pulpit, akan magani, suna ta magana banza kawai. Wai arne kaza, nonsense. Nonsense. This evil, you must stop it. You must stop this evil in the north of Nigeria. Let's face the truth, okay? The life of one person, my Muslim brothers, my Christian sisters, whether it is an animist, is very important. You don't have the right to be killing people, to grab their land. Right now, I want to admonish the government of Nigeria, all the communities that have been, the people have been sent away, and the terrorists are living there. Go and prove to Nigerians that you're ready to clean up. Those villages are occupied by the terrorists. You know those places. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Let's stop lying to ourselves. And I want to admonish every Nigerian. We must all stand with one voice. The killing of Christians is not glorious. The killing of Muslims is not glorious. But we must face the fact. We must face the fact. All of these Islamic clerics that are fueling more fire, deceiving people with deception, we must close them. Nigerian government, you know them, go after them, cut them, and then these things will come to an end. They are breeding wickedness and they are breeding terrorists in the form of Al-Majri. Why the moderate Muslims will not be allowed to survive. The moderate Muslims will not be allowed to stand. If they do anything, they come after them and kill them. We must stop this. And you, government, you know it. You have the list with you and you know what to do. And so I call on Nigerians. On the 29th, we shall gather in different locations and pray and lift up our nation. And we are calling Donald Trump, don't slow down. Whatever it's going to take you to push along with the government of Nigeria, please do it. It is for the safety of humanity. It is for the safety of humanity. I feel pain for the number of soldiers we are losing every day. I feel the pain. Soldiers that are ill-equipped. Soldiers that don't have all it takes. And then they will go all over the place lying and deceiving people. Nobody can deceive us. This country, God gave it to us. This country, God gave it to us. And we must make sure we rescue Nigeria for the sake of the future generation. God must be glorified. Whether it is Christian, Muslim, or animist, we must live well. We must live well and not allow people look at it the way they are filtering our gold. Do you know the amount of gold they are taking out in Zamfara? Do you know the amount of minerals that has been taken from Borno? Do you know the amount of minerals that has been taken from the North Central? It is all of these politicians selling it to themselves. We better wise up. And I speak to every priest, to every real imam. It's time you stand on the right side. Those terrorists that call themselves Islamic scholars, it's time Nigeria round them up. Then we will have the peace the North used to have. In those days, we will come back to that and Nigeria will prosper. May God bless Nigeria. May God watch over Nigeria. And may God sustain Nigeria.
President Donald Trump has issued a stark warning that the U.S. military intervention in the country could involve both ground troops and airstrikes. Now, his remarks follow Washington's designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern over alleged religious persecution and claims of genocide against Christians. Now, the genocide claim, however, remains highly contested, with some Nigerians arguing that violence from terrorist groups and communal clashes affect both Christians and Muslims. Other highlights the disproportionate toll on Christian communities, especially in the Middle Belt, as evidence of targeted persecution. Now, critics say the Nigerian government has responded weakly to the country's worsening insecurity. They accuse authorities of failing to act decisively against terrorist groups and also armed militia, allowing violence to escalate unchecked. Now, Trump's comments, though divisive, appears to have jolted Nigerian officials into a more active stance. The core questions, however, still remain. Has the government done enough to confront the crisis, or is international pressure now the driving force behind its response? Now, joining me right now to discuss this is Sheikh Gumi. He is, of course, an Islamic cleric and peace negotiator. I also have Azari Yusuf, is the former national coordinator of the Middle Belt Patriots. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you.
All right. Sheikh, let me start, of course, with you. And I would start this conversation by reading, going back to the tweet made, or the post on social media, that is, made by the United States President Donald Trump. I'll read just part of it. According to President Trump, he, in his words, has described the country, that's Nigeria, as a country of particular concern. He wrote quite a couple of things, which of course has ignited conversations around the safety of Christians. Now, this particular sect group. Now, the tweet goes this way: Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Now, thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. Of course, this has ignited conversations around the genocide of the Christians, in the country. So I want to ask you, Sheikh, is this the true, for you, does this reflect the reality of Nigerians?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dapo, for inviting me to the hot topic of the hour now. This allegation is false. It's a misrepresentation of reality, and I'm sorry to say it's also mischievous. A country.
Sorry, just to be clear on that, you said the allegation by the President of the United States is false and also a misrepresentation of reality.
And also mischievous.
And mischievous. Why is that?
Yeah. Because America knows about Nigeria probably more than what we know. They know everything. What is now the Boko Haram Commission by the government has proven that Americans used to ferry guns to Boko Haram. And recently, the retired Chief of Defense Staff said there is no way that international community is not involved in Boko Haram in the Eastern Theater, the Northeastern Theater, because for 15 years the army has been battling them. Let me tell you what happens. Boko Haram comes in jeeps and loaded with anti-aircraft gun. You know, the anti-aircraft gun has a higher range and more destructive power than a machine gun. Our soldiers don't have that. They are fighting us with anti-aircraft. From a kilometer, they will devastate our post. So who is arming them? Who is arming them with these anti-aircraft guns? This is how they kill our soldiers. They are fed to them. And now, in fact, the committee said they thought it's France, but now they have realized it is America by confession of Congress members. So what are they coming to tell us? These people, liars, they tell a lot of lies. This is how they did in Iraq, and this is how they did even in Gaza recently, fueling genocide, then coming to disturb Nigeria. Why Nigeria is different from all other places? Here, any small thing can trigger a real, true religious conflict and clash. Just you can imagine from the reaction, the polarization of Nigeria, whereby most of the Muslims were against this irresponsible statement from Trump, and a lot of Christians, especially in the social media, the young ones, they are supporting him. So we're having polarization. What more if bombs start dropping on Nigerians? You know, a small thing can trigger mayhem, the real one. So what we are trying to avoid, trying to pacify people, going in there. I myself in a committee during the last Kaduna State regime, we have a House of Kaduna family. It's composed of clerics from both sides. We go to southern Kaduna, see the destruction there and see the fight there, trying to pacify, meeting with all of them, gathering them together, bringing peace to them. In fact, southern Kaduna now is peaceful. That's the hot spot. Plateau now is peaceful. Benue is peaceful. So why is Trump nosing into?
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You said that Plateau is peaceful, Benue is peaceful, but there have been records of attacks lately.
When last did you hear about an attack? When last?
So for you, according to you, it's those states are peaceful.
When last did you hear of an attack? When last? The government is working very well.
All right. Let me.
Kaduna, look, Kaduna Abuja Road used to be the den of kidnapping. Now you can go freely even in the night.
Anyway,
so things are improving. As things are improving now, this man will just come and try to steer a problem with us even in Nigeria.
Anyway, for Plateau State, for instance, sorry to interrupt you. I mean, Riyom, there was an attack recently in Riyom. So, I mean, Yelwata, even though we know that it happened even recently that was in terms of weeks back, I mean, in Benue State. So, I mean, to say that these areas are peaceful, for some Nigerians, they might just feel that, this, of course, might not be, might be a bit out of place. But maybe I should just give you 30 seconds before I bring in my next guest. 30 seconds to respond.
Let us not be microscopic in our analysis of what is happening in Nigeria.
It's microscopic.
On the macro level. Things are getting better. The government is doing well to pacify all warring factions. What is happening in the Middle Belt is a clash between two clans. Those who claim to be residents and those who claim to be settlers. This is the clash between them, fighting over land. They are not fighting because of religion.
All right. Thank you so much.
Religion in it. You see, it will widen the scope. And if it widens the scope, Nigerians, Muslims, and Christians started killing themselves. We don't achieve what we want to achieve.
All right, Sheikh Gumi, thank you so much. Let me bring into the conversation Zari Yusuf is the former coordinator of the Middle Belt Patriots. He joins virtually also. Zari, great, of course, having you. Your reaction to some of things that have been said, but I would also direct the same question to you, where, of course, Nigeria has been designated, according to President Trump, a country of particular concern, citing killings targeted at a particular faith. Does this reflect our reality?
Oh, thank you very much for this opportunity. I'd say to you that indeed that reflects the reality in Nigeria. That is a welcome development, and that is not new or unexpected. It's something that is long overdue. To start off, I'd say to you, frankly, what appears to be mischievous in the word of the cleric would be the denial of a Christian genocide. As a matter of fact, I know you would likely have been taken aback when he said Benue is now peaceful, Plateau is peaceful, Southern Kaduna is peaceful. Of course, we understand the notion of peace is relative to a large extent. But going by the history of Nigeria, at least in the last 2 decades, we can very much draw a clear line between what is peaceful and what is not peaceful. You are dealing with a situation where, let me even start with a certain point. How did we get to the CPC list in the first place? It is simply because, it is not just because there are attacks on innocent people, innocent civilians who are harmless, but it's simply because there is a certain attitude with which the government responds to attacks. Throughout General Muhammadu Buhari's regime, especially when it was in Benue, there was hardly an attack where the presidency will not give a statement that looks like excusing, the attack, telling the people, cede your land so that, the Fulani would build ranches and all of that. The people have followed this pattern over, I mean, you can't argue with a pattern that has proven itself for about 2 decades. This is a clear case of an Islamist militia that is basically targeting Christian communities and sacking them. If it is a matter of land, is it only the Fulani people that have lived in other people's land in the Middle Belt? Do we not have Calabar people? Do we not have Yoruba people? Do we not have people from the south? Do we not have Igbos? Why is it only from one end? And if it is a battle over land, say crisis, for instance, why is it only that one particular group is strictly composed of Muslims, they are sophisticatedly armed, and they are always killing the other groups who happen to just be agrarian people living their lives, and they just turn out to be Christians? So the idea of putting Nigeria on the CPC list reflects the truth of it. It is not as if somebody woke up in the morning and met a group of people living peacefully and then decided, let me bring in misunderstanding to them. Of course, he has been dismissive of the reality on ground, saying he doesn't want a scenario where Christians and Muslims will start killing each other. There is no such scenario. The only scenario we have are armed Islamic terrorists that have been killing Christians for almost 2 decades. So what exactly are we talking about? And what exactly are we afraid of being put on the CPC list? I remember the statement is that if the government will not take the responsibility of ending these killings, then of course the international community has a legal and a moral responsibility to step in. Wherever there is a genocide, you don't need the permission of the government of that country.
Now, I'm coming back to you, Sheikh Gumi. Let's quickly look at our approach in tackling insecurity as a nation. This, of course, has been festering for quite some time. We've seen, and that's years, I'm talking about years here. We've seen different approaches. You've also been very much, what I call it, involved, particularly when it comes to the issue of banditry and this terrorist. I mean, you've been consistent in a way, talking about dialogue, rehabilitation, and even amnesty for the repentant, terrorist, which I just want to put this to you and ask you, from your perspective and what you've seen and experienced, why does it appear that like we're moving in circles?
Before I get to that, what I can see clearly is why do you put the list of Christians killed without a corresponding list of Muslims killed? Muslims in the southern Kaduna or in Plateau are killed in the thousands. And it's not only the militias they are killing them, even the Air Force have bombarded and killed so many villagers like that. So why don't we have a list of that? Why don't we have the list of the Tudumbiri people that we have massacred during their celebrations? Why don't you put those who were slaughtered in the boss? Why don't you put the image of Major General Al-Khali? So many cases. I think we Muslims, what we need to do now is to bring out to public the names of those who are killed and massacred in the southern, in the Middle Belt region. That is a mandatory for us now, so that the string of the information will not tilt against what is happening. It's two people fighting. It's a case of two-sided fight with both sides having casualty. To paint it as Muslims killing, I wonder if Muslims are killing Christians. I don't know if there will be any Christian left to be talking to you on the TV with the viciousness of
Sheikh Gumi. So I mean, you've established from your perspective also a pattern. But what have we been getting wrong? Why is it that we are still back to this same conversation of insecurity? You've been part of the process. I mean, you've been pretty much.
The situation is improving. The interference of America will only worsen it. This is what we are saying. But gradually, Nigerians are healing slowly and gradually.
So for you, you feel that the security situation. You feel the security situation in the country is improving.
Their presidents tells you that these are people who lie behind moral issues and attack people for their resources. We have seen that in Libya, we have seen that in Iraq, we have seen that even recently in attacking Iran over its peaceful nuclear. So what will they do with Nigerians too? And you see, this Republican Party, especially now that you have zealots evangelical Christians in power, they are anti-Muslims. They have an Islamophobia. And this is so evident. Look at the election in New York City, whereby a Muslim mayor, modern, moderate Muslim, very eloquent, coming out, people want him, and Trump is also threatening that he will cut off funds from New York City just because he's a Muslim. With this Islamophobia, how can I accept Trump to come into this country? He's just coming here to fight Muslims. And so instead of fighting terrorists, the whole Islamic world, the Muslim will just turn against America, and it will be, Nigeria will be a theater of war. This is what we are trying to avoid.
Let's quickly bring this back home.
We are against American intervention. Let Chinese come. Let a Russian come and help us. But Americans, those liars,
let's quickly bring this home. Before I leave you, before I let you go and move to Zari, What's your position on the idea of rehabilitation and amnesty for repentant terrorists?
So if they repent, what do you want to do? To kill them? Jesus Christ, taught us that, you see, if somebody repents, a prostitute came to him, they wanted to stone her because it's stoning and killing. And he said, go and sin no more. This is even Christianity. So what do you want us to do? Put them and that is what is called genocide. If they surrender, then we accept their surrender and rehabilitate them and make them useful Nigerians. If they want to fight in the army, it's even better. They want to fight those people who.
So you're saying it's okay for So you're saying it's okay for repentant terrorists to fight in the army?
It's even better because they know the secret of the bandits.
But do you think that has helped us over the years? Because where I'm going through with this.
Better now. I was in Maiduguri just about 1 year ago. It's better. Things are calm. Not like those days when soldiers were calling me crying during Jonathan's time. There's a great improvement in Maiduguri.
I mean, on this,
told you, Americans are arming Boko Haram with anti-aircraft guns. These same Americans, this same criminal country that wants to come and disturb Nigerians.
All right. Look, I'm still going to stay with you on this, please.
Do not allow these antichrist people to come into Nigeria here. I'm telling you, because we all suffer. Nobody will find it easy. So don't think they are coming here to save you. They don't even, they're Christian. This man who is groping women and doing all that kind of stuff, this man, a convicted felony, giving money to a prostitute so that she will keep quiet. This same man you tell me is fighting for Christian. Is that Christianity?
Sheikh Gumi, let me leave you for a moment. And let me, of course, bring in Zari Yusuf. Zari, quickly, maybe you'd like to react to some of the things that have been said. But my question to you also is, where have we been getting it wrong as a nation? Why are we still having this conversation even after many years and several efforts?
One of the key reasons why we are getting it wrong is because of people like Sheikh Gumi. In a clear case of a war, because he's talking about bloodshed, there has been bloodshed. Nigeria has been a theater of war for almost 2 decades. Possibly it is not affecting him directly because most of the casualties, most of the mass murders is that of Christians. He appears to be a negotiator, but to be very honest with you, he has advocated more for appeasing the terrorists rather than advocating justice for the victims. And I think it's important to us because I believe he's an Islamic cleric. He understands the concept of justice. How do you deal with a scenario of people raping women, people killing soldiers, people decimating homes, people sacking communities, but then the strength of your advocacy is that the government should appease them? Where in the whole world, in the history of any war, whether guerrilla warfare, whether military warfare, have you ever found a situation where there is an active bloodshed going on and then you believe that appeasing the criminals that are carrying out these genocidal attacks and infusing them into the military will help? From the very beginning, when the notion of amnesty, de-radicalization and integration began, we have never seen a scenario where these repentant terrorists, as they call them repentant, have ever led people to their camps and they were decimated. They have been growing exponentially. They have been acquiring more arms. So that is basically the problem we are having. We are getting it wrong simply because we have managed to create a false narrative. An example is we have managed to compartmentalize terrorism or these Islamist activities to look as if it is only Boko Haram that is doing it. The reason is because the rest of the terrorist groups that are jihadist in nature have been forged into different names. For instance, he's talking about two fighting. There is no two fighting anywhere. It is important also, we would love it if you are able to have an example of one Christian militia that is operational in either Sokoto or any of the Muslim dominant state that have been raping women and killing people, then we can understand that. And at least the Muslims will equally lend their voice and say, okay, whatever it is the Americans are claiming that the Christians are suffering from, we are also suffering from it. And since it is all about eradicating terrorism, then good, come and eradicate them. But I think the problem is not just because there are foot soldiers who are killing people. It is because there are people who are sympathetic to the jihadist cause. There are people who are sponsoring them. And the involvement of any foreign nation in a scenario where there is a genocide does not end with the foot soldiers. It traces those who are sympathetic to their cause, whether because of political or religious or ideological beliefs. It equally traces those who sponsor them. And I think that is primarily where the problem lies in Nigeria. We are not sincere with the war against terrorism. Once it involves, because wherever you go to, we can't force ourselves. Most of the time, you find a lot of Muslims claiming that these people, they are not truly representing Islam and all of that, blah, 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 and all of that. But the truth is that there is an Islamist, well-armed Islamist jihadist group that has been massacring Christians. And what we find, unfortunately, people who should be speaking or condemning this act are busy trying as much as possible to create sympathy for them. You can imagine him saying that killing the terrorists will now amount to genocide. Then what will you tell the people that have been buried there? For instance, just of late in Yelewata, over 250 people were killed. But he describes that not as a genocide. He says two fighting, even though we don't know of.
All right, Zari Yusuf. I mean, we are really trying to manage time, and I know you have a lot to say. But let me bring the conversation back to Sheikh Gumi. Sheikh Gumi, I mean, you might want to react to some of the things that have been said. But my question to you in particular is, at this point, what would be your advice for the president of Nigeria and the Nigerian government in terms of how best to handle this situation with the U.S.?
One thing I find with this youth usually is they try to demonize people. Just imagine I'm going, taking risk to see that I pacify these people, people that even government cannot fight, people that are armed by this same America. They are armed by this same America. Why are you not addressing that issue? I'm trying to pacify them to change their direction. Look, they are Nigerians. You should not fight Nigerians. You should not allow foreigners to use you. They want to destroy Nigeria. In fact, since 2025 or 2015, they are saying Nigeria will disintegrate. And look at this youth trying to demonize. Even as I'm trying to talk to you to show science into this, they think we are part of the problem. So you will continue to suffer if you think. And if you think Americans will come to help you, then you will cry blood. You don't know. You don't know the Americans. They are the ones even creating all this, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and they all created it to cause confusion in Muslim land. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, we have a big population of Christians. So this is not a place to play with fire. This is not a place to play with fire. You can do that in Sudan and everything. It's all the same religion, the same tribe. But in Nigeria, it's different. So that's why we don't want this Yankee man to come here and ignite a fire on combustibles in Nigeria. That's what essence we're here. So
maybe we should just get this also out of the way. Sheikh Gumi, just quickly. I mean, there have been mentions of... Sorry, please, sir. 1 minute. There have been mentions, please, hold on 1 minute. There have been, a lot of talks around a jihadist agenda. Do you think this is also the case?
This is Pentagon propaganda. Which jihadists? What are they trying to do? I've spoken with herdsmen. They are hardly Muslims. They don't pray. They smoke Indian hemp. What Islamic and these Boko Haram people? They are not even educated in religion at all. I'm telling you, they are agents, creation of the Pentagon. They are trying to destroy. In fact, since 9/11. They have been trying to cause commotion in Muslim majority states. But Nigeria is different because we have Christians. If it's only Muslims, we don't count our death. All our deaths are martyrs. So that's why we don't count our death. But we have Christians here. We don't want this mayhem.
All right, so quickly, Sheikh, in 30 seconds, what would be your advice for the Nigerian government? How do they handle the situation now?
That Trump should retract and withdraw his threat on Nigeria because it's infringing on our sovereignty and it's a contempt of our country. They should, and also, if he doesn't do that, then we have all rights to sever our relationship and change our direction, political direction, to other nations that are like China, Russia, or the BRICS. Nigeria should be bold enough to do that. I'm sure if it's China Abacha's time, or what you call it, Murtala, they will take this bold step. Now, America will not have the guts to what do you call it, to abuse a country like Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much, Sheikh Gumi. It's of course a great having you talk to us this evening. But before we go, Zari, your final thoughts, 30 seconds.
Said, frankly, if it was in the days of Sani Abacha, a lot of the sympathizers and the sponsors of terrorism in the country would have long been executed. When you refer to the Muslims as martyrs in what sense? Unless they are fighting a jihad, what makes them martyrs? If a Muslim has an accident and dies on the way, is he a martyr? It's only when it involves a jihadist cause. So yes, there is a jihad that is going on, and I would say that one of the things I would advise the president to do, Nigerian president, frankly speaking, in the face of this, is to look beyond the foot soldiers in the forest. It is important to begin to arrest those who show sympathy to these killers. You can't have a scenario where you have armed groups that can kill hundreds of people, and then you still advocate sympathy for them and forget about the victims and continue claiming that there is peace. There is no peace anywhere. It is not as if Trump created the story from anywhere. We have lived this reality for over a decade and a half, where Christians, somebody just goes to a community and wipes out Christians. Boko Haram and all of these groups that people are lying that they are Fulani, they are not even Muslims, they don't know how to pray and all of that, they are Islamist groups. People understand what they do, why they attack, how they shout Allahu Akbar, how they do all of these things. Of course, nobody is perfect. I'm not a perfect Christian. But we can't capitalize on the fact that whether they smoke India hymn or do whatsoever, then it means they are not Muslims. If they are not Muslims, then why is the Islamic cleric concerned that they said they will destroy, they will kill them? They are not even, a lot of them are mercenaries that have been brought in by their sponsors to carry out these genocidal attacks.
All right,
so let me just round up by saying it is important to explain why it is, if they are terrorists and you are concerned about human lives, why are you troubled that foreign nations want to lend in so that the terrorists will be eliminated? Why should that
be? All right, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure having.
He's asking a question. I think I need to answer it.
Okay, quickly, sir. 30 seconds.
We are worried because a liar, a genocidal man wants to come and mess up with Nigeria. He's not coming here to protect Christianity.
All right.
That's why we are worried.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Of course, having this conversation, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi is an Islamic cleric and also a peace negotiator. And Zari Yusuf is the former national coordinator, Middle Belt Patriots. Gentlemen, once again, thank you for your time.
So my people, that is it. As you can see right now, Sheikh Gumi is the spokesperson to Tinubu. Like, this is really, really shameful, honestly. Those people that are funding and also supporting terrorists in Nigeria, my people, they have come out to push this narrative that Donald Trump is coming to buy Nigerians. I just love how this man from the north gave woto to this Sheikh Gumi, because we cannot allow this man to continue like this, honestly. And Tinubu government, they're allowing him to go from one station to another to defend this government, just to make sure that Trump will not come to rescue Nigerians, poor Nigerians that are helpless. Anyway, my people, even Asari Dokubo has also boasted that if the US army mistakenly comes to Nigeria, that Nigeria will become graveyard. So they look at him, he's there doing push-up, like everything is joke in Nigeria, everything is cruise. Anyway, we are waiting for Donald Trump, because we have seen that Nigeria government, they are not serious, they are not ready to tackle the insecurity in Nigeria, which means Donald Trump is coming. My people, as I bring this update to you guys, do well to subscribe, like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next update. Goodbye for now.
Welcome to News TV. Home of entertainment.